They are coming for your guns. Friday's House vote proves it.
The yeas are 217. The nays are 213.
Narrowly passing a ban on assault weapons for the first time since 1994, after a string of mass shootings with AR-15s. Congressman Chris Jacobs, whose district includes parts of a still reeling Buffalo, one of just 2 Republicans voting yes.
10 people killed and 13 in total shot by AR-15.
President Biden praising the passage in a statement Friday night and urging senators to move quickly. But the bill is likely doomed in an evenly divided Senate that was forced to strip the ban to pass historic gun legislation in June. Democrats vowing to fill in the deal's gaps ever since.
We're going to talk about what this means in just a minute. But before we do, let me remind you, we have a gun giveaway going on. It's happening right now. It's absolutely free, but it ends really soon. All you've got to do is click the link in the description down below to find out which brand new gun you could win. Now let's talk about what happened on Friday as the House of Representatives voted in favor of H.R. 1808. That's their assault weapons ban. We talked about it before. This is a sweeping measure that clearly infringes on your right to keep and bear arms, but it's not law yet. The Senate still has to vote on it. But understand, you are just 1 Senate vote away from becoming a criminal and 1 vote away from watching your rights disappear. I rarely get worked up over this stuff, but if ever there was a time to contact your elected representatives, now is that time. So share this video with everyone you know. This is not about politics or party. This is about the principles of self-defense. Regardless of which political party you support, we all have a natural-born right to self-defense. That right is affirmed by the Second Amendment to our Constitution, and the Supreme Court has repeatedly stated that lawmakers cannot strip away the rights of law-abiding citizens. And you must understand that these laws will only impact law-abiding gun owners. The criminals will still have guns. There is no provision in this law for getting guns out of the hands of criminals. The bill approved by the House of Representatives only criminalizes current firearms that are already in common use. It says nothing about the behavior of criminals, and those criminals should be held accountable, not the rest of us. I wish we didn't have to carry guns for self-defense. I wish we didn't have to learn self-defense skills to protect ourselves and our loved ones from aggressive people. But wishing and hoping is just not an effective strategy. As long as there are those who will do harm to others, there will be a need for and a God-given right to self-defense. Laws like this one take that right away. And as unintended consequences, they also strip away our right to stand up as a last resort to a tyrannical government should we ever decide we need to. This law, or any law like this, will not make us safer. Criminals will have and will always get guns because guns exist. The only way to completely stop gun violence is to stop making guns and then have government agents go house to house and collect up all the guns that are out there. That sounds an awful lot like a police state, and nobody wants that. Think about the mental gymnastics that anti-gun politicians must do to get this bill to make any sense at all. First of all, they'll tell you that mass shootings happen every day, so we need to have this gun control measure. Then they'll say you don't need a gun because the chances of you being involved in a mass shooting are slim and you wouldn't be able to stop it anyway. Then they tell you that the AR-15 is this ultra-powerful weapon of war and no private citizen needs to own one. Then they'll turn around and tell you in the very next breath that if you really needed to stand up to a tyrannical government, you would need more than an AR-15. Then they'll tell you that only the police should have guns like that. And in fact, many anti-gunners will tell you that only the police should have any guns at all. Yet many of those same anti-gunners have said that the police are racist, overly militarized, and way too violent. You can't have it both ways. A firearm is the best tool that you can use to protect yourself and your loved ones. Yes, firearms must be used responsibly, and those who don't do so should be held accountable. And the punishment for misuse of guns should be swift and severe. But no lawmaker should be allowed to tell you which gun you can own to protect yourself. That is a personal choice and your God-given right. You should not have your rights infringed upon because other people have chosen to commit crimes. So the next step on this bill is that it heads over to the Senate now. And remember, The House and the Senate have to pass identical bills, and then they send the one version over to the president to get signed. So if the Senate version is not identical to the House version, then they're going to get together in a conference committee. They're going to try to hammer out the differences. This is where stuff gets thrown out or added in, or the bill gets changed. It can get pretty crazy going back and forth like that. But that doesn't mean we have a lot of time. That means this is happening right now. You need to make it clear to your senators. There's only 2 in every state. You can find them. It's easy. And you need to write and call and email and contact them any way you can and tell them not to pass any version of an assault weapons ban. Any version is an infringement upon our rights. And get ready to vote on the principle of self-defense in the next election. If your elected representative, regardless of party, does not support self-defense, vote for someone else. It's time to preserve these rights for our grandchildren. Want to know when it's legal to draw your gun? Click the video right next to me to reveal a detailed explanation from a former police officer and competitive shooter.